Hi guys, this is my first ever battle report. It's a game of Oathmark, 1,250 points of Dwarves versus mostly Goblins. My opponent is Jonny Watson, and you can check his stuff out at Jonny Watson Gaming. Link will be in the description. And although I did promise my own spin on battle reports, this is pretty standard fare, but hopefully still enjoyable. So let's get going.
Scruffy Crow.
Okay, both armies are arrayed for battle. We have my army, starting with my archers, spearmen, catapult, line breakers, and then militia, facing off against Jonny's goblins. Got a couple of small units over here, some swordsmen and human spears, human line breakers, they're pretty scary. Some of my goblins proxying in on the smaller bases, some orc spears, a goblin light catapult, and a big block of goblin archers. And we're all set up and ready to go, 8 inches from the table edges. Okay, the end of turn 1 left the table looking a lot like this. Both armies moved up just a few inches on each side, facing off against each other. Both sets of archers made a few casualties. I lost a few dwarves, and Jonny lost a few spearmen. But nothing overwhelming happened on the first turn, just sort of rattling sabres and advancing the battle lines. First combat of the game is about to start. The dwarf militia makes contact with the orc swords. We'll see if quantity is better than quality. Okay, at the end of that first combat, it was a bit of a stalemate with both sides losing 4 wounds. However, the orcs failed their morale check, where they needed a 9 to succeed, and are now disordered, whereas the dwarves are still standing firm. Okay, so the end of turn 2. Both the armies have moved together, and we've seen heavy casualties. The dwarves have been slowly losing bodies to shooting attacks, and then finally lost an entire rank to these pesky goblins. But the main orc spear block has been whittled down as well. Over here, the militia managed to defend against 2 units attacking them, eventually destroying the orc swords and repelling the smaller unit of humans. And in general, the whole thing's starting to look a bit messy as the units close on each other. My line breakers are still fresh and awaiting turn 3 to really stick their axe in. So turn 3's barely started, and these sneaky orcs have snuck round the portal here and charged me in the flank. There's not many of them left, but we'll see how much damage they do. Okay, the battle continues to get messier and messier. The spearmen in the centre of the board have been battling her out, and the goblins are currently doing better for remaining casualties. But the dwarves have now got the stats advantage, so that should continue to go their way. The archers are continuing to snipe from the flank over here. And let's have a look. The spearmen made contact with the side of my line breakers and got repelled, but did some damage. And they've been mostly just battling these other line breakers, but they did push them back and disordered themselves in the process. The militia are continuing to be the stars of this whole match, and they finally wiped out the human spearmen. All in all, this could still be anyone's game, and it's interesting to see what a battle goes like in this without any objectives other than just killing the enemy. Okay, the end of turn 4. And things look very similar to the way they did at the end of turn 3, except there is far more dead on the table. The spearmen are just grinding against each other here. The dwarves appear to have a bit of the quality advantage, but the goblins are still doing alright from their quantity advantage. The archers still haven't moved particularly. I think they're going to have to start shooting at each other because they're running out of viable targets. And the line breakers just keep bouncing off each other. However, a few of the line breakers and the spearmen are now both disordered, so they are at a bit of a disadvantage now. So let's take one more turn and see how this pans out.
End of turn 5.
So at the end of turn 5, we're going to call it a day. The line breakers finish off the units they were facing and turn around to destroy the last few orcs, leaving this unit disordered with 2 men. Same here, we finally pushed back the goblins, leaving them injured Most of the other line breakers and human units were all destroyed, either wiped out completely or broke. The archer units still stayed mainly intact, just sort of sniping at other things, as did the war machines. Overall, that was a great game. Very close, though the eliteness of the Dwarves, I think, won out at the end of the day versus the cheapness of the Goblins.
Definitely.
We had a good time. As Jonny said in his battle report, I think we might have got one or two of the rules wrong, and there's a couple of things we need to look into, as like shooting out of forests and what happens when a unit is completely wiped out. But other than that, yeah, very enjoyable, very fun, and hopefully we'll get a few more of these games in with battle reports, and we'll include things like wizards and some more of the advanced rules like commanders. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this. Hopefully I can do some more whizzy effects on my battle reports going forward, whereas this one we were still trying to get to grips with the rules as we went along. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any tips on how to improve this, stick it down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.